The rain outside pounded against the old glass windows of Mel's diner, the kind of place where the smell of fresh coffee and bacon wrapped around you like a blanket the moment you stepped inside. It was the kind of diner people stopped at after long shifts, late night drives, or early mornings when sleep still clung to their eyes. And in the middle of this familiar chaos sat a man nobody recognized, dressed in a simple flannel shirt, faded jeans, and a baseball cap pulled low over his brow. To everyone else, he looked like just another wary traveler grabbing a late night meal. But in truth, he was Michael Harris, the actual owner of the diner chain. Michael wasn't the kind of boss who enjoyed sitting in corner offices. After years of running his business, he often went undercover, visiting his diners to see how things really worked when nobody knew who he was. Tonight, he was here to observe, to listen, and maybe to remind himself why he built this place in the first place. But nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to witness. The bell above the door jingled, and in came a small group of customers. Truckers, by the look of them, boots caked with mud and eyes heavy with fatigue. They filled a booth near the back, laughing loudly, slapping menus against the table, clearly hungry and impatient. "Be right with you," called a voice that sounded both warm and strained. Michael looked up. The waitress was young, no older than 23, maybe 24, with her hair pulled back in a messy bun and dark circles beneath her eyes. But what struck him immediately wasn't her exhaustion. It was her hand. Her right hand was wrapped in bandages, stiff and swollen, clearly broken. Yet she balanced trays with her left, pouring coffee, carrying plates, scribbling down orders as if nothing was wrong. Michael frowned. Why is she even here? When she reached his booth, she offered a tired smile. "Coffee, sir?" she asked. "Yes, please," he said, watching her carefully as she poured. Her left hand trembled slightly under the weight of the pot. He noticed her uniform was a little too big, maybe borrowed, maybe one she couldn't afford to replace. "You okay?" he asked gently. Her smile faltered but quickly returned. "Oh, I'm fine. Just clumsy, that's all," but Michael could tell it wasn't the full truth. As the night wore on, Michael kept observing. The diner was busy, and with only 2 waitresses on duty, the work never stopped. Yet despite her broken hand, the young woman, whose name tag read Emily, never slowed down. She comforted a crying child with a free scoop of ice cream, refilled coffee cups without being asked, and even laughed at the trucker's corny jokes. Still, Michael noticed the wince every time she lifted a heavy plate, the way she flexed her injured hand when she thought no one was looking. At one point, when she thought she was alone in the kitchen, Michael overheard her speaking softly into her phone. "Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. No, don't worry about the hospital bill. I'll figure it out, yes, I promise. Just take care of Lily, okay?" Oh, her voice cracked, but she quickly hung up, wiped her eyes, and carried another tray out to a booth with a smile as if nothing had happened. Michael's chest tightened. She's hurting, and she's hiding it. Later that night, the truckers grew restless. Their food was delayed because the cook had mixed up an order, and Emily had to explain the situation. One of the men slammed his fist on the table. "You call this service? You think I'm paying for food that takes an hour?" Emily apologized, her voice steady but soft. "I'll fix this right away. Sir, dessert's on me tonight." The man sneered. "Dessert? You can't even carry plates without looking like you'll drop them. What's wrong with your hand anyway? Don't tell me they've got crippled girls working here now." Michael's jaw tightened. Before he could say a word, Emily stood straighter, her chin lifted, and with a quiet dignity, she said, "My hand is broken, yes. But I still show up because people need me. So if that means working twice as hard to make sure you're fed, I'll do it. But please, don't disrespect me or the diner." The booth went silent. The truckers muttered something under their breath but backed down. Emily walked away, balancing the plates with her left hand, her back straight as if she carried not just food, but pride, resilience, and something Michael rarely saw anymore in his employees' heart. Hours passed, and the diner finally slowed. Most of the customers had gone, leaving only Michael and a few stragglers. Emily slumped against the counter, rubbing her swollen hand gently. Michael approached. "You should be home resting." She gave a small laugh. "Yeah, well, rent doesn't pay itself. Neither do hospital bills." He studied her carefully. "What happened?" Emily hesitated. For a moment she seemed ready to brush him off. But something about Michael, his calm eyes, the genuine concern in his voice, made her open up. "It was stupid," she whispered. "2 jobs, late nights, I slipped on the stairs carrying groceries. Doctor said I shouldn't work for at least a month, but if I stop, I fall behind on rent. My little sister's in school. My mom's sick. It's on me." Her eyes glistened, but she quickly blinked the tears away. "Anyway, enough about me. You wanted pie, right?" Michael shook his head. He couldn't believe the strength in her. Wounded, exhausted, yet still standing tall. When the diner finally closed, Michael stayed behind. He waited until Emily was cleaning tables, her body moving slower, every motion heavy with fatigue. He walked up to her, voice low but steady. "Emily, what would you say if I told you I wasn't just another customer tonight?" She raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" Michael slowly removed his cap, meeting her eyes. "I'm Michael Harris. I own this diner, along with the others across the state." Her eyes widened. She nearly dropped the rag in her hand. "You're the owner?" He nodded. "I come in undercover sometimes, to see what's really happening, to see the truth." Emily flushed. "Oh my God, I didn't know. I wasn't. I mean, if I messed anything up." "You didn't mess up," he interrupted gently. "In fact, you showed me something I don't see often. Strength, kindness, dedication. Even with a broken hand, you gave every customer the best of yourself. That's rare." She stood frozen, unsure of what to say. Then Michael leaned in, his voice carrying the weight of a decision he had already made. "Emily, you shouldn't have to choose between your health and your survival. Starting tomorrow, you're on paid leave until your hand heals. Your bills covered, and when you're ready to come back, I'm promoting you. I need people like you leading my teams, not just serving tables." Tears finally broke free, streaming down Emily's face. She covered her mouth with her good hand, shaking her head in disbelief. You'd do that? For me?" Michael smiled softly. "You've already done more for this diner than I could ever ask. Tonight, you reminded me why I built this place. Not for profits. For people like you." For the first time that night, Emily let herself cry. The weight she carried, hospital bills, rent, responsibility for her family, suddenly felt a little lighter. She whispered, voice trembling, "Thank you. You have no idea what this means." Michael placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "I think I do." And in that quiet moment, surrounded by the hum of refrigerators and the faint smell of coffee grounds, something shifted. The diner wasn't just a business. It was a lifeline. A place where compassion mattered as much as the food. Michael walked out into the rain that night, leaving Emily standing in the empty diner with tears in her eyes and hope in her heart. But he knew, just as she did, that this was only the beginning of something far bigger than either of them could have imagined.